Wallace.
And I have Don Holly here with me.
Three phases, dressage, cross-country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're really excited to have everybody here with us for Season 2, Episode 1.
Oh,
Really
wow.
excited. Yeah.
You sound like Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. Episode 1 again.
What can we do?
It's like Groundhog
Well,
Day.
how was your holidays?
My holidays were great. I actually got to sneak off to see my brother.
Yeah?
Was very COVID safe, relatively speaking, though.
Sure.
We were stuck in his house.
Right.
Had a great time catching up with family and my
Well, good
mom
for you.
and everybody. So yeah, how about
I know
you?
you sounded happy over there.
It was so laid back.
We had to, I know, laid back. You went camping, right?
No, we were
Oh,
in
that
a
was
house.
Joel. Joel went camping.
Joel was camping.
That's right.
I was not. I was in a house.
Oh, that's right. You were bowling downstairs and movies upstairs, or was it basketball?
Basketball in the basement and movies upstairs. It was great.
We just spent it at home. We had a great time. The first holiday really with Elisa,
Right.
and Timothy, because they are down here now. So we had a great time at home and enjoyed ourselves, and here we are,
Awesome.
ready for the new show with our new set.
Yeah, Joel got this all set up for us. It looks
Can you
awesome.
believe it?
Got nice photos. They make us look like we know what we're doing.
We do.
Yeah.
Even
I don't
even
like that I look over your head and see me, but whatever.
Why? That's
It just freaks
what
me
you
out
do.
a little bit. Like
You
I'm
do that
looking
in the mirror all the time.
Exactly. I do.
Great job, though, Joel
Yeah,
and Molly.
awesome. Well done.
We love it.
So I do have something I wanted to bring up with everybody that's involved in the running of this show, which is we have a bit of a tradition, seems to have become a tradition, guys, of getting hot dogs before the show. And I'm a little disturbed because of the 5 hot dogs that I got, 3 of them had ketchup on them.
Yeah.
And that's not right. And I know that the 3 of you are going to make the face Rick's making right now. What are you
Like
talking about?
everybody out there.
Ketchup is not supposed to be on a hot dog, and I have the proof. I went to the National Hot Dog and Social Council, National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, and they recently came out in disapproval of adults using ketchup on hot dogs. And in a guide to hot dog etiquette, the organization decreed that for those of 18 years of age and older, acceptable wiener toppings include mustard, relish, onions, cheese, and chili.
You know what I do? I call bullshit.
Well, ketchup is not allowed.
Well,
telling you,
have you
my
ever
brother does the
have
same
you ever
thing, I
watched
noticed.
Grease?
Yeah?
Sandy, when the song is being sung by John Travolta, Sandy, can't you see? And the big screen's up there, and there's this hot dog dancing around. There's
Right.
ketchup and mustard, and they're going to squirt on it. Look, you can't change the
Ketchup's
50s.
wrong. All right, anyway, I'm just telling you
Let's
guys,
move on.
time to be adults. Time to be adults.
Okay.
All right. The other thing, before we get into really important topics about horses, is, of course, as I know you were really excited, my Green Bay Packers beat the Chicago Bears this past weekend and are now the #1 seed in the National Football Conference, which means they get
congratulations.
They get next weekend off, and we're going to go to the Super Bowl.
You know, the funny thing is, Briggs' father was down for a whole week.
Yeah, he's
and
a
so
Lions fan. I'm sorry.
He is not a big fan of the Packers. So we were talking about when they were going to play, what's the time. So that's why I was texting you.
Right.
And then guess what we did?
You watched the Packers win.
We missed the freaking game.
I was on a plane. I missed the whole
We were
game.
out by the fire pit drinking whiskey. They were smoking cigars and doing pipes and stuff like that. So.
Right.
Anyway, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I had a lot to do with it. It was really pretty intense. And then you had an exciting day. You had a lesson with
I did.
with Ann
And
Krasinski.
With the great Ann Karinsky. It was really, really good. Elisa rode this morning on the Let It Be Lee horse.
Right.
And I took, actually, this one.
Right. Which one is that?
That's my 5-year-old's Booming Boudron. He
Right.
was a racehorse, and he's 5 coming 6 and about to go prelim this year. She really liked him. He gets a bit strong in the bridle, so we switched out to a gag, which I don't typically ride in a gag.
Right.
But it worked a lot. You get the frame and then you leave him alone. She's a George Morse protege. Really, he produced a lot of great horsemen and women. And she just is about rhythm and forwardness and the ability to really direct and stay quiet. So it was a really good lesson. We had a great time.
That's awesome. So I'm a little bit curious how you get invited to this, because I did not get an invite. And
Well, Caroline Martin loves me.
Caroline, come on, I'm here. Yeah. Anyway, I probably couldn't have come anyway because I just got back.
Well, I
last
told her
night.
we're going to have her on the show soon. So.
Right.
And her
Well, I
mother,
mean,
her mother was there.
Half of us were, but I'm not because I didn't get invited.
Well, her mother, Sherry, goes, "You can't have her on the show." I said, "Why can't we have her on the show?" She goes, "Have you heard her mouth?" I said, "That's okay. Joel can bleep a lot."
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'd really enjoy bleeping.
Yeah.
The whole
But we
thing.
have someone coming on pretty soon. That's Lauren Kiefer.
Yes.
So
Lauren Nicholson, actually.
Lauren Kiefer Nicholson, which I hope she brings her Irish husband, Sam,
Yeah,
because he's the life of the party.
absolutely.
What else we got on your list?
So WEC and USEF. So you've got
World
some-
Equestrian Center,
Yeah, so you got
which
some
I
stuff on that.
understand people don't like to call it WEC. It's got to be called WEC.
I don't know. I just always called it WEC.
Well, didn't Karen O'Connor do that? Yeah. Anyway, WEC
Right.
came up with an agreement with USEF, which is United States Equestrian Federation. USEF.
Right.
So we're on air.
So we got Lauren has just shown
She
up.
showed up. We're online for our first segment.
Oh, now she's horrified, everybody. She's walked in.
That's okay. That we were just saying she's going to be on the next segment.
yeah.
So she's ready to go, and we were asking if Sam is here.
Now, she's looking horrified. She didn't know we were going to be on television. She's obviously
We're
not
even
been
on
a fan
television.
of the show.
What else we got on that list? We're going to save the leaderboard and the USEA thing because we feel Lauren's going to be a good person to have a conversation about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit. I got an email from Rob Burke
Right?
about the leaderboard and how they're going to rework it for next year. And so I think when Lauren's on, it'd be kind of fun to talk
So
about
back
that
to
a little bit.
WEC.
Yeah,
and
so
the
we'll keep going.
agreements, because what was going on is we have HITS, Horse Shows in the Sun, which is down the road at post time. And they have 10 weeks of USEF horse shows. And then we have this beautiful WEC, WEC
Yep.
showgrounds going on, and they couldn't work out the mileage rule for dates.
Right. So basically, the Federation was protecting their existing organizers as they're supposed to
Correct.
do, and making sure that there's mileage rules that are being enforced. And there were conflicts between WEC and HITS and what WEC wanted to do, and having unrecognized competitions that really were kind of running recognized
Yeah, what they did was
Faux
they
recognized
came up
divisions.
with
national
horse
snaffle bit,
national snaffle.
or as I like to call them,
Association.
NISBA.
But the problem that a lot of people don't realize is if you are a rider that rides under the FEI rule,
Yep.
if you're not riding under a federation of your country, you could get sanctioned
Right.
by riding for the FEI. So anyway, long story short, as this all came together, it seems that there's an agreement so riders can ride at the WEC and not have any repercussions for sanction under the FEI because USEF is going to make sure that that doesn't occur.
Right.
Whatever way they do it, they're going to make
Yeah,
that
the
happen.
only thing is I don't know. I believe the FEI came in and said that they're not going to enforce that.
Whoever
but
that-
I think that's probably the details are still getting worked out. But I
Right.
think, I mean, I know there's jumper competitions going on
Sure.
this week.
Well, I know Will Coleman is competing in the 3-9 hunters.
Nice.
With I think Rebecca Farm horse.
Yep.
And then he's doing the Hunter Derby.
Is he wearing his flat top hat while he's doing it?
I don't know. I didn't ask. Oh, his flat cap that he was wearing today. He's
Right.
not going to do it for the
No.
Hunter Derby. You got to wear a helmet.
That's too bad. You could plant it on top like a cheese head.
Whatever. Peter Gray is going to be doing intermediate debut on Sunday in dressage there.
Right? Cool. You know what? Jen is away this weekend teaching a clinic. I can go over and watch Peter.
Let's go watch.
Yeah, we'll go cheer him
He
on.
goes at like 8:40 in the morning, but we wake up early anyway.
I was hoping to have a cocktail while I watched him. That's
Well,
going to be
you
okay.
can still do
Bloody
that.
Mary? Is that acceptable?
Bloody Marys. You can
mimosa.
have mimosas.
All right. Awesome.
Anyway,
that's the
so-
most dressage thing I can think of is
Well,
mimosas.
a lot going on at WEC, and HITS post time starts in 3 weeks, or the third week in January. I have a horse and pony that will be competing there all 10 weeks, but I'm going to try to get over to WEC as well, since we can now.
You know, it's funny, like you say all the stuff that's going on, and it reminds me of the feeling I had yesterday when I left my brother's house of like, I could just feel the vice of stress starting to build as I'm coming back, and I'm like, I have 5-6 days this week of lessons. All the horse shows are starting. The events are coming. I'm going to be intense and go. And here we are. We're ready to rock.
That was really good.
Thank you. I feel
that was
incredibly good.
Did we cover everything in our first segment?
Yeah, so let's see. We got hot dogs.
Yep.
And the Packers. And your lesson and the leaderboard. We got we're good. We got it all.
Good.
So we should probably take a quick break. And then we're going to try to get Lauren cleaned up. So
we're going to get Lauren cleaned up.
Air.
Also, we have another group in the house that's going to be in the last segment.
Yes.
So we are excited about them. They're in the audience today. And
yeah, we got Jen Tankel coming in.
Yep.
And we're excited about that. So we'll be right back after these breaks.
Great.
Want to advertise on The John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
When it comes time to compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That's why Elemental Fit Lab, the home of CrossFit antics, is my home gym. Coach Vilma and her team create a fun, welcoming environment for athletes of all levels. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Elemental Fit Lab will guide you towards a stronger, healthier version of you. Mention the John and Rick Show to get 3 free personal training sessions with enrollment.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, an amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information. Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stressless Horse Supplement. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show. We are here in Horse Trailer Pro Studios with our brand new set, which is really great. Thanks, Joel and Molly, for doing that. And we are joined by Lauren Kiefer Nicholson. Welcome.
Thanks.
And it's a Stressless segment.
That's right.
We got to remember Stressless helps this guy right here.
Well, and he helps that
guy and that guy and that guy.
And that guy.
So Stressless is a calming supplement that we use, and it's something that is a very legal agent to use, and it works on all of my horses of all different types. You should give it a whirl if you need it.
What's different from very legal and kind of legal?
It's 100% legal.
That is very legal. That's a good question.
It is 100% USEF and FEI legal. It's good
But
stuff.
I liked how he said very legal, and she
wondered-
caught up on it.
I wondered as
Very
well.
legal.
Very
Good
legal.
call. Well,
No, it is good
welcome.
stuff.
Thanks.
Thanks for
having
being
me.
here.
I
Now
think
you got a little scared walking in. What did you think?
I did not know it was on video.
Well, see, this is the thing we do. I like to make sure that we have all of our guests a little bit like nervous and backed off.
I'm more
and,
just mad.
yeah. You know what?
Can
I
we
think
swear on this?
that works well
Yes,
for you.
you
I've always
can.
noticed you perform your best when you're mad. So I wanted to just get you a little angry ahead of time. Poke
Give me
the bear.
a kick start to the year.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about Lauren?
You know, I actually have to say that I don't have Lauren's bio pulled up.
Because you know me
Because
so
I know
well.
Lauren so well. So Lauren is a mainstay on the USEF eventing team. She rode, which games did you ride at here now? You rode at
WEG, Rio, and Toronto Pan Ams.
Perfect. Awesome. And did well. You guys ended up with the team gold at Toronto, right? And then
I fell off at the other two.
the other two didn't go as well. I wanted to get the good one in
I
first.
fell down,
It happens.
crashed and burned.
It happens.
That's okay. You were there. You got to experience it, and you learned from it.
Rode him to the ground.
Yeah, you know what? There's something to be said for that. I always say when I go out, I would rather fall off or fall down with the horse than like run past the jump. So at least you're going down in a blaze of glory.
Oh, true that.
Yeah,
and
for
you were real gutsy at Rio. I mean, that was a gutsy line, and the mare just couldn't quite hook onto it. But
Yeah.
And if it makes you feel better or possibly worse, I think I swore and hit the ground in my house at the exact same time you did at WEG.
no, I saw her poor
When you
face.
shot off that oxer and hit the dirt, like, you gotta be, God, and I threw, and then at that same time you threw your whip, and
It was all there.
it was great. And I
If
was
I
like,
had to turn at the bottom, I think I could have hung on.
right,
Yeah.
all right.
There's not a whole lot to hang on to, Bug. There's
No,
not a whole lot
no.
of neck.
No, but that's whatever. It
It
happens.
is what it is.
Live to fight another day. So,
But the good stuff was the gold at Toronto.
yeah,
Silver
There's
lining.
good things in
Silver
there.
lining.
yeah.
You know, I mean, great things that you've done over the years. You've been to badminton, Burley, Kentucky. How many times?
Oh, I'm not sure.
112.
Several, many being national champion at Kentucky. So, I mean, her resume is huge.
So I have to
Which
tell
is
a quick
great.
little Lauren story that
Uh-oh.
actually is Jen's story of Lauren. but
Okay, I wanna hear it.
She tells it all the time, so I feel like it's me. So Jen went up to ride with Karen years ago.
Yeah.
And she was like her first or second day there, riding, taking lessons, and Karen said, I'm running a little bit behind. There's this new girl that has just gotten here. She's from Southern Illinois. She rides okay. She's up in the cross-country field. Could you go just help her out a little bit? So Jen was like, okay, like, yeah, no problem. So she goes up there and she teaches this girl who proceeds to just ride everything perfectly and just like basically give a clinic to Jen of how to do this stuff. Jen gets done teaching her, walks back down to the ring, and Karen says, how'd that go? And Jen said, don't ever make me do that again. That girl is incredible. I don't have anything to tell her.
That was a great story.
Yeah, and it ended up being Lauren.
It was very nice.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, so.
Well, tell us about your experiences. Look, I think the first time I remember you was at Maui Gym. You were on Snooze Alarm in the
Like JYOP or something.
No, I think you were in Lisa's division in the 4-star that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you were like 8th, I think.
Was he
Elisa
your
won
first
it.
real event horse?
Yeah. He was a little bit of the like fairy tale story. I got him when I was like 13, I think, as a 4-year-old, and went from beginner novice to Kentucky. And I think Max Corcoran's line's the best for Snooze, and she said he is a glorified 2-star horse that went 5-star. But bless his
was
heart,
really good.
he was a trooper.
Yeah, but he always had a motor. He just kept going.
was great.
It was the Arab in him.
And he was super safe. If you were on a miss, he would stop like 3 strides out. Like you never had to worry about like
You're
gonna.
not
He wasn't
on
going
it.
to try.
He was like
So
Try
then,
again.
so Bug's related to Snooze Alarm.
full brother.
Full brother.
Yep.
There you go.
I once Snooze retired, and I was just a poor Midwestern kid and couldn't didn't have owners or anything, and obviously couldn't afford to go get something. So the only horse I knew that got advanced, I figured I should just start over with the same thing. So I bought Bug as a 2 or 3-year-old.
So is he from Illinois?
Yeah.
So you went back and found the breeders?
The breeders always stayed in touch, and the mare they had, Snooze and Bug, are 10 years apart and by the same stallion, but otherwise the mare didn't do any other Arabians or anything like that. It's an off the track
those
mare.
two?
Yeah, just those two on either end.
Wow.
So it was a thoroughbred mare.
Thoroughbred mare and an Arab stallion.
Wow. So they really were like, I always knew he was Arab, but I didn't know he was that much.
He was
He's proper Arab.
Arab.
Wow, did you ever contact the Arabian Association about getting grants and stuff? I bet they do
I've many times been High Point Eventing Arab Award.
Isn't that
wow.
great? Mm-hmm. I think that's something people don't
I think
realize.
there was 2 of us.
Yeah,
but
whatever. That's fine.
You still got it.
I have a lot of little High Point Arab trophies.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. If you can get in with a good breed organization like that, they love you. And then,
they've been great though.
So now you're going to be the Arab rider.
Whatever works.
You could do endurance at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think I have the
patience
to trot for hundreds of miles.
Yeah, that's a lot of trotting. So speaking of Bug and the other horses you have, what's sort of on tap for this spring? What are your plans?
Come out guns blazing. I made a call early on after COVID and everything, and once we realized there's going to be no 5-stars last year, like my 3 upper-level horses, Vermiculus, Paramount Portments, and Landmarks Monte Carlo, they're in their teens and done quite a bit. So I made a call early on not to do any 3 days with them. It'd be one thing if they're younger and need mileage, but I figured I'd feel really stupid doing something this year just out of desperation to run. So kept them kind of ticking over, doing some stuff all year, practicing and everything, and then they'll come out.
So the plan is for those 3 to go to Kentucky?
Yeah.
And those 3 are declared for Tokyo?
Yes.
And are any of the others?
No.
So those 3, those are your
Those are the ones.
Those are my boys.
Awesome. So Kentucky's the plan with them. So when do you have your first run then?
I'm going to take the 2 gray ones out at Rocking Horse, and then Bug I'm going to take out a couple weeks later. I'm kind of just going to do some local stuff, and then Chat Hills will be my final run, which I've used Chat Hills the last 4 or 5 years. I really like Chat for that.
Yep. So because that runs the same weekend as
I think it's different now.
Is it? Okay.
But in the past it's always been the same weekend.
Right.
But the ground's good. You've got a nice hill.
So you get 2-3 runs and away you go. Cool. And then what about? I know you just got a new horse.
Did.
Yeah. So what's that?
I heard about that. Was that Phyllis Dawson?
Yeah.
Yep.
He is bred by Phyllis Dawson, and a little bit the funny story at that one is Sarah Gunbiter's horse Polaris. I tried him as a 5-year-old and was in love with him. I went and tried him a couple of times, and then took David out for the final decide, and David shot it down. And every time I see that horse, every time I see that horse, I'm like, remember that one? Remember that one?
That's a really cool one
that
right
one
there.
that's going 5-star repeatedly. But this one is by the same stallion and out of a steeplechase mare. And I wasn't looking or anything, and I'd actually talked to Leslie about that horse for an amateur friend, and then Leslie was like, "Why don't you just come sit on him?" And I loved him, and so I called up the missus and kind of begged and pleaded.
Sometimes you got to do that.
I was like, "It's in our backyard. I know I'm not supposed to be looking, but so she's pretty smart about that. Yeah, she's pretty smart, and she she's been in this a long time, and she knows it's very rare if you find something in your backyard.
That you don't have to go somewhere to find it.
Ready to go, and it's not.
So that's
priced.
That's a tribute to Phyllis for producing. So did she produce the Polaris horse?
Yeah, she bred the
that
Polaris
one
horse too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think her breeding line is really.
She does have
it's really good.
We actually have one at our place right now that an amateur lady is riding, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful enough that the lady doesn't always get on with it, and I'm like, well, if you don't really like it, I mean, I can take it on. I'm just saying. Yeah.
How old is that one? 6?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
good
beautiful
age.
horse.
Yeah, great age. Cindy Anderson Blank's been producing it. Did a beautiful job.
It's gone through prelim? or-
Training.
Training.
Yeah, and he's got all the buttons and is super ready. One of the nice things with Phyllis's horses too is I feel like she waits to do a lot with them. So they're they're very developed and confident, and he definitely
Awesome.
feels like he's
I
ready
did
to
see
rock and
that.
roll.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Well, let's take a break. Thank you to Stressless for
Thanks,
sponsoring this
Stressless.
segment.
The very, very legal supplement.
The very legal supplement, yes. So we're going to take a quick break, check in with some sponsors, and we'll be right back with Lauren Nicholson.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stressless can help. Stressless, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stressless today and see for yourself why we think Stressless is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stressless Horse Supplement.
Jump for Joy USA has what you need for your private farm or recognized competition. Our jumps are no maintenance, easy to move, and affordable. No scraping or painting necessary. We offer jump stands, wings, fillers, water trays, and more. Poles are wood-filled and available in 4 weights and lengths. And we now offer octagonal poles. Our cross-country portables and brush jumps are extremely useful and have been used for training by the British eventing team since 1990. Easy to move from the arena to the field and no tractor required, so you can change your setup often. We ship coast to coast in the USA and Canada. Visit our website, jumpforjoyusa.com. Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance. Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show. We are still here with the one and only Lauren Nicholson, who is really excited because she has actually gotten the ride on all of Lauren Keefer's horses.
Good for you. And we're here in the Horse Trailer Studios.
Yeah, Horse Trailer Pros.
Which, by the way, it's the beginning of the year for Horse Trailer Pros. You need to get your horse trailer in and make sure it's all ready to go.
Absolutely. Beginning of every season.
Did it.
Did you?
See, look at that.
Good job.
Already done all
So
that.
there's a lot of stuff that goes on before you hit the road, and if we don't get it here to Horse Trailer Pros, get Matt on it and get everything done, then we get in trouble when we're on the road.
Well, this is the truth, because in the past, before I knew Matt, I was lazy about it. And I can tell you about, once a year, I'd end up on the side of the road stuck somewhere and be like, oh, you mean the bearings don't have any grease in them? Huh. I actually got stuck. I got stuck one time at the egg station, a complete wheel gone.
An egg station? What's an egg station?
Where it's where they do the eggs.
Uh-huh.
The agricultural
Ag
station.
center.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
So Lauren, we wanted to get your opinion, and I'm going to read through. I just got an email from Rob Burke at USEA because they're redoing the whole leaderboard this year, and you know a bit about it already, but I'm just going to read through sort of the gist of the system, which is what he sent me, and then we'll get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So basically, for year-end awards, the top 6 scores over the current competition year will determine the final leaderboard standings. Only MER, minimum eligibility requirement, rides earned at recognized competition in the U.S. and competitions outside of the U.S. recognized by the FEI will be counted. Only rides that are MERs will count toward year-end points. MERs for FEI levels will be consistent with existing MERs. Dressage, no more than 45, which would be 55%. Cross country, no jumping, and no more than 30 time penalties for 1, 2, 3, and 4-star levels, and no more than 40 time penalties for 5-star level. Show jumping, no more than 16 jump penalties. For national horse trials, dressage, no more than 50 penalty points. Cross country, no penalties and no more than 36 time penalties. Show jumping, no more than 16 jump penalties. Within any class, the top 25% of starters will earn points on rides that are minimum eligibility requirements. Points per start will be consistent with the 2020 USEA points. However, there'll be no more half points. In the event there's a tie for the champion will be determined by taking the average number of the top 6 final competition scores. The rider and horse with the lowest average will be named the champion. If there is still equality, then you finish as a tie. At horse trials offering a dressage test and show jumping test at the higher level, but cross country at the lower level, it'll be based on the level of cross country for the points. Cross country completions without jump penalties are awarded points at the national 3-day events, including novice 3 days, beginner novice 3-day eventing test, and the CCI 1-star long levels, regardless of placing within the 25% of the division. And then this one I thought was important. Award points will continue to accumulate during the competition lifetime of each horse, but only the points earned in the current year count toward the year-end awards.
Okay.
Boom. So,
So quick question. Are you on the board now? The USEA board?
Board of Governors, yes.
Yeah. So that was through the nomination, because I wanted you on the board.
Thanks.
So did you work on this?
No.
Okay. You're incoming.
I'm incoming.
You're incoming. Okay. Just wanted to be clear, because you came in
Yeah, at the end
this
of
convention.
Yes.
Okay.
so I feel like in the past, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are on it, it was a little bit, obviously the best people were going to be in contention, but of the best people, it was the one who could run the
As
most.
many
Could get the
Yeah,
points.
I think, this a bit mimics the FEI World Rankings, which I think gives a better, I think it's just a better overall consistency of the rider and their best placings, like the FEI World Rankings, I think take your top 6 scores. And I think it's based more on your quality of riding in competition than how many horses you've competed. There's certainly some of the years I've been Lady Rider of the Year, I just had a lot of horses competing.
Right.
I didn't have overall great
Right.
year, but I had a lot of horses running. So I think it's a good thing.
Right.
So are we, and to that point, are we still having a Lady of the Year rider?
I believe so.
I don't think it changes.
They didn't change the categories.
No, I think
Okay.
it's just how
It's
they're
still-
calculated.
Is there overall rider and then lady rider, just all the same?
I
categories?
believe it's all the same awards,
Okay.
which is going to be the next question for you is, so how do you feel about
Right.
the Lady Rider Award?
I mean, I like winning things.
Can we have a man rider of the year?
No, you guys have enough stuff. Give me a break.
What? What is this?
All right, fair.
Well, we heard it straight from
Yeah,
her.
Lauren
But
Kiefer Nicholson.
I wouldn't be surprised though if the overall and Lady Rider of the Year scoreboards, how much it starts matching now. You
Right.
know, because
Yeah.
typically, nothing against him, but the boys run
Right.
a lot more horses than
we-
a lot of the upper level women, and so it'll be interesting how much maybe the
Yeah, because
leaderboards
Liz is the
start to
first one
match.
who's won it in like 46 years.
Because we talked about that, and I think to your point, it was because the guys had all the rides, and that's why. But I like her point. It's going to start matching the rankings of the Lady of the Year.
I thought you were going to say you like her point that she likes winning things.
Well, I like that point too.
I like winning things.
Yeah,
I'm going for the Lady Rider of the Year this year.
you should.
I don't have a chance.
Just mascara and some blush, you'll be fine.
I do think it's interesting, and that's why I always like talking about it. Like, we're in a sport where one of the big draws of it is that men and women compete on equal footing. And to me, but again, it's hard because I'm a guy, so I haven't lived the life, but to me it seems like you're almost saying like, okay, Lauren, you're really very good, so we're going to give you an award for being a girl, as opposed to you're just really good. And like this new system to me seems like it's saying that, like, okay, you're really good. You don't have to have 10,000 rides to win it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you look at the FBI World Rankings, it's very evenly mixed, male and female, and I think that's a better picture of the sport as a whole.
So does FEI ranking have Lady Rider of the Year?
No.
Oh.
right. I feel like we're almost like on a push from the show to be like, get rid of the Lady Rider. Yeah. Get rid of the Lady Rider.
I'm not sure that's the case. I mean, we'll give you a year-end award of your own, John.
I want, yeah.
What would you like?
I mean, how could I make
How
sure
would
that
you
I
want
win
it
it?
titled?
I think you already got a year-end award. He got Hero.
That's
of the
not a
year-end
award. That's just a
by a
funny
Vending
thing.
Nation.
Yeah, that's a
Named-
funny thing.
What?
Because you got
Look.
a tattoo.
Because I got a
got
tattoo.
a tattoo.
Yeah,
But-
I got the worst tattoo award,
More than that, you raised a lot of money for Frangible Pen for safety of our sport.
which is an excellent little.
Because I think we need to
segue.
pull her in to try to help raise
Yeah,
the next
so-
$12,000.
What we have just heard from Rob as well at US Eventing is we are actually $12,000 away from our $500,000 goal. And so I'm wondering, like, for 12 grand, what do you get tattooed?
What do I get
Yeah,
tattooed?
yeah. How are you gonna do? How are you gonna, now
Like
you're a
you
member
can
of
help
the
us
board.
reach that 12,000. Can we tattoo something on you?
If you give me 12,000.
I don't think we're gonna get her to help us.
No,
on
I can
that.
see from
No.
Lauren's expression this isn't gonna work,
Yeah, it's the Papa Keith factor.
right?
And
Yeah, he
do
scares me
you
a bit.
really want Papa Keith on your bad side? I may be a 30-year-old
So is it-
woman, but I'm still scared of Papa Keith.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could outrun him, but eventually I wouldn't see him coming.
Yeah.
And then
He's
I would
pretty, for a big guy, he's pretty stealthy.
Yeah, yeah, he's quiet.
But on that point, $12,000 is not a lot. We
Yeah,
can do
so
it.
Everybody can pitch in that.
yeah, we
So
can get it
out
done.
there, we need
But didn't everybody
$12,000.
just get another tax or check from the government?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
give us your
give us some of
stimulus
that.
checks
Do some of
to
that.
US Eventing Foundation.
There you go.
So what will our mark be if we raise $12,000? What's the
Then we're going to
total
be at
amount?
the $500,000.
The $500,000.
You will save lives. That
Yeah,
is
what
your
it,
Lots
reward.
of
what it
lives.
does is it gets us actually to $450,000, and then the Manton Foundation
Matches the
steps up
50.
and matches with
That's
the last
awesome.
50. So
So, and like we said before, we've seen it, and we've seen the pins in action, the tables that happened. One was triggered at Tryon.
Yep.
That definitely saved some major injuries. So
Yep.
I think it's a great thing. We need to keep it moving.
absolutely, yeah. I always like seeing him. I don't know how you feel when you walk the courses, but when I see him, I'm like,
Yeah, it's
cool to
just-
have it out there.
There's
So
no bad
I'm-
side to it.
I've got a question for Lauren. So you've been to Europe how many times? That you don't have to. I know it gets how many? A lot.
Oh, I've been very
So
fortunate.
what has been your favorite trip over?
My favorite trip.
Which-
Buccalo with John Holly.
Yeah.
The B team.
So what
you
what I want to do is don't get into too many details about
'Cause
that. I want to
I
hear a
don't
little bit
remember
about your
much.
favorite trips, and then when we come back, I want to talk about that book.
That
trip.
Buccalo.
That must have been what year was that? That was 2015.
15. It was the first year I lived over there. It's 2015.
Yeah, it would have been 15.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been super fortunate to spend 2 seasons over there, 2015 and 2017. I have to say, I've been to Aachen 4 times, and that's definitely, Buccalo and Aachen are my favorite events to go over there. I've been to Badminton Burley twice, and both of those are really fun. But I think, Buccalo and Aachen just have like, they
more of
have
a
such a
at-
team atmosphere,
yeah.
and also it's just like, it's just really a fun events to be at.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
We're going to come back and we're going to get the dirt down and dirty on.
Yeah. It
I
was a fun
have
trip.
some blurry moments.
Yeah, we both do.
All right. Let's do that.
We'll be right back.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, show-safe, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Summit Joint Performance, the injectable joint supplement used by numerous international and Olympic riders, invites you to experience the winning Summit difference. Made of all natural ingredients, Summit increases mobility and comfort. Win your class with Summit Joint Performance.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show. We're here with Lauren Nicholson. I'm really excited. We are in the Horse Trailer Pros studios, but we're going to hear some secrets about what happened to you two at Bocolo.
Yeah.
Let's start with what she remembers.
It was a good time. I'm going to say that Lauren remembers less than me.
I'd say that.
So it was 2015. You were on two horses.
I had Vermiculus and Landmarks Monte Carlo, and it was both of their first now 4-star.
4 stars.
Yeah.
You were on the famous.
I was on Downtown Harrison, and yeah, I took him there. It was the second time going, actually. Will. And my horse, it wasn't obviously because it was the second time going, so I think it was like his third or fourth 4-star, but he had been hurt. And so I had 2 runs, and I said to Jen, I want to go. He's ready to go. That was a fun horse show. Let's go back to Bocolo. And so I threw him on a plane, and I was like, I'm out of here. And I remember Joni, when I talked to her, was like, you're going to do what?
I'm going to Bocolo.
Yeah.
And you don't regret it.
But to your point, y'all weren't on the Nations Cup team.
No, so mine were obviously green, and John's obviously
Just
hadn't
old.
Just hadn't done
run
much
a
recently.
ton. And I think the Nations Cup, it was like Tammy, Matt Brown. There's a ton of us there.
Yeah, Buck
Tammy was
there.
on Twisted Sister.
Liz.
Yeah. There was a lot of us there.
Was Marilyn there?
I think Marilyn was there. I don't know that Tammy was there. I think Marilyn was there.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And so
B team.
so they named the team, and so John and I were the ones not on it, so we called ourselves the B team.
Mm-hmm.
And we also, because we're that kind of people, like the team did an amazing job, finished second in the Nations Cup, but John and I never hesitated to point out to David if he'd put us on the team, we would have
won gold.
We would have won gold.
But the good
with our
news is
placing.
we've let it go.
Obviously.
Yeah.
We've clearly let it go.
Yeah.
But
We were doing math outside
That
show
would have
jumping.
been a pretty little gold medal.
It would have been nice.
it was very muddy too, wasn't it?
Oh, it was
Well, I think it's
super-
always
It's
muddy
always.
there.
I remember galloping up the fence 7 and I saw my shoe fly by my head and I'm like, oh, I got a long way to go.
So great stories about that, but let's hear about I hear that there's tons of partying going on at Bocolo.
It is ridiculous.
Was
So-
there blurry nights going on?
I think the Tuesday night party, I think, is pretty
The famous one.
Right.
epic.
So what do you
And,
do?
And the whole atmosphere of Bocolo, because I think it's basically kind of the last 3 days of the season, so all the riders are pretty, and it's just the organizers are great, and it's just got a great atmosphere to it, and the party's epic, and I maybe imbibed a bit. I think all of us did.
Yeah.
Are you getting
and-
pictures?
No. I'm
God, there's
doing something else. There's no pictures.
I think one of my last clearest memories was I think I was stroking Jesse Campbell's face and saying, I really like your face. And I think I really scared him. It's very awkward for years every time I saw him.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
When I
Because
was
you don't know
sitting
what
there-
happened after that clear moment.
No, and when I was there after Well, I think he
I
was
can
with
fill in some
Georgie
blanks
then,
for
who
you if you
he's
want.
recently married, and I think, I think we finally was at his place before Burley or badminton a few years ago, and I was like, I'm really sorry about that.
Really sorry I petted your face.
So-
really sorry I pet your face.
So
But it's a
when
nice
you
face.
show up to this event at the briefing, Franz, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gives his briefing and he always says, "Welcome to Buccolo. Everybody, there can only be one winner, but everyone will have a good time." And it is, honestly, it is a party.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't want a party, you still have a bit of a party. And then they do have this Tuesday night groom's party. And I remember dancing on the table with the whole team, but I'm dancing next to Lauren, and we're having a great time. And I could tell Lauren's definitely
Petting
loose, ready
somebody's
to have a good
face.
time, right? Quite elastic. And she looks at me and says, "I'm gonna ride him like a pony." And she jumps off the top of the table and lands on top of some poor Dutch boy and starts riding him across the dance floor until eventually he collapses on the ground. And she sort of collapses next to him.
Do you remember that?
No.
It was great.
Yeah.
And then
That's
I think
epic.
Cecily Brown had to take me home.
yeah, and then I
good
just
old
remember
Cecily.
the next morning showing up to the horse show, and Lauren wasn't there, and I run into Joni, and she looked at me and said, "What did you
Oh
do?"
yeah, because Joni and I were sharing an apartment.
Yeah.
I think she found me.
He found you in the bathroom, and she's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "What are you talking
I was
about?"
trying.
What did you do to
showered.
Lauren?
That sounds like Jen Holling, and
Yeah.
what every time you got drunk and laid on the floor, I got blamed.
Right,
for.
but somehow
It was your fault.
it was my fault. It's
Yeah.
never my fault.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like
I
really
think
fun.
I came out to ride, and I think I got sent back to
Yeah,
the hotel.
which is not something that we're condoning. It's not a
No.
good idea.
We did do well at the
Yeah, we
event.
did. And I think that's the thing. If you can
Well,
back it up.
I mean, it's Vocalo,
we
right?
exceeded expectations.
Right, not mine, but yeah.
So
Okay, yeah, mine too.
So obviously that was Wednesday, which is a warm-up day
Well,
for.
it was Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, so
Right,
Wednesday.
but Wednesday was was that your jog day?
The announcer didn't make it to the jog because he
That's
was
true.
so ill.
So you did jog, you
I
went
think that's
home.
the last year he announced that event, by the way.
Yeah.
So how did it all end? When you were on the last day, show jump day, y'all did pretty well.
Yeah. You actually, I remember that.
Did you jump around? Do you have one rail?
I think I was,
I
yeah,
don't
maybe
remember.
I might have had one.
I think you had one.
But I remember it was, so my horse, who I love to death and Jen still rides now, he was not the scopiest horse in the world, but he was a good boy. And he always did everything that was asked of him.
And the Buccolo show jumping is epically big,
Big.
and on
and
muddy
that
grass.
year it was in grass still.
Yeah.
And there was standing water. Like, I'm not talking like it was a bit wet. It was like
Puddles.
jumping in and out of water jumps the whole way around. And it was great for my horse because he would come down to the jump, hit the water, spook, splash off the ground,
Jump bigger.
jump bigger. I have some, and actually, funny enough, Phyllis Dawson was the selector that was there watching, and so she was taking photos. So I have some awesome photos
Yeah, that's
that she
awesome.
took for me.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's good.
And your horses show jump pretty well.
Yeah, I mean,
They
I
must have
was
because we would have won the gold.
obviously.
Yeah.
I think Bug, bless him, it was only his second advance. Like he did his first advance at the 8 and 9-year-olds at Blenheim or something, and then went to Buccolo. So he was there on like very little practice
Right.
at the level, and he was super. And then Patty, I think he was his usual speedy self. And I want to say we moved from like 50th to 8th or something after the cross country. And then I think he had a couple rails, but that's just, he's terrified of show jumping.
Right.
Nothing's changed.
So I want to ask about Mr. Nicholson. How's he?
He's building cross country jumps
Is
right
he?
now. Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Nice.
If anyone needs cross country jumps,
does them.
He's building them full time now. So-
Cool.
and he'll do it out of stuff on your property, like if you got trees down
And
or
he's the
whatever.
nicest man in the whole
Yeah.
entire world.
People ask, like,
Oh my
how
gosh.
this happened.
I'm telling you,
Someone
I was
else
at
be nice.
Tryon. I know your husband. He's super nice. I met him right after y'all got married, I think, at the convention. I was sitting there, and he was taking back food to you. I think he had pizza.
great.
And he stopped, and he sat down, and he goes, "Hi." I was like, "Hi."
He's very
and
Irish
he
and
goes,
friendly.
I'm running some pizza, but I got time to talk to you.
Meanwhile, Lauren's in the barn. Where's my food?
I swear you did
I'm
good.
still thinking he may be like Ted Bundy or something. You know, like I'm not gonna be shocked, like, because he's just everything's so
You're
bright.
really suspicious. You
No.
accused me of bringing you here tonight to have you killed.
You said go into the abandoned gas station with the blacked out windows.
Right. And
I listen
where
to
are
a
you?
lot of murder podcasts.
Where are you right now? You're in an abandoned gas station
but
with
I
blacked out
haven't
windows.
made it out safely yet, though, so it's still to be decided.
Well, I think he's not Ted Bundy. I think he's an amazing man.
He
You
is.
did a great job. You're very lucky, and so is he with you. And I understand he does do some trot sets and stuff with you.
Yes.
On the
well,
Grays?
I mean, one of the kind of deciding factors that he was probably our relationship was going to survive was I think it wasn't long after we got engaged and you know, he's moving everything over here and he put some money from his Irish account into my account and then I bought
a horse.
I bought the carbon copy Z horse.
I heard
and he
the
came
story
home one
at-
day and I was like, your horse is getting here, and he goes, did I know I was getting a horse? And I was like, no. And I was like, this is gonna be like
This is a big test.
I'm glad you told that story.
And he was like, okay, can we go see it? But I mean,
So wait, no.
now
So did you
he's-
buy this horse for him or for you, and you just told him it was his, and now he owns a horse for you?
He owns a horse. Like he's listed as the owner and everything.
That is
but
epic.
he grew up because his dad trained racehorses, so he grew up riding on the track and stuff, and he hadn't ridden in 10 years, but we started putting him on a horse last year. So now he's gonna ride Simon some this season, go to a few shows. We've got him kitted out. He went and bought boots last week. So
Good for
he's
him.
going for novice amateur of the year.
So I
That's
understand.
awesome.
You know, it's funny because my same story interlocks with that story. Because with the pizza boxes, he said, Rick, do you know you learn a lot of stuff when you get here? He goes, I own a horse. I was like, what? He goes, but I think next time I'll know before I own a horse.
Maybe.
Well, and now the thing
Maybe,
is,
maybe not.
you got to make it work now, because if this doesn't work and you got to find somebody else, they're gonna know.
Yeah.
No,
You'll
there's
go-
nobody else.
Yeah, this is it.
This is
He's
it.
a good dude.
I don't know who
So
else
I
would
got
put up with
a
me.
personal question. Are there babies in the future?
If
Foals.
if anyone could want kids less than I want kids,
It's him.
yeah. So, but you know, it's always like we're first dating and you kind of broach that
The whole children thing.
And I
And then you
think
both
he
were
was
like-
kind of like, well, I mean, like, I don't have to, but like, and I was like, I hate children. He's like, well, thank God I do too. So it was very early on. We were very much in
You're right
agreement.
there.
Perfect.
Well, guess what? I'm not getting grandchildren either. So
No.
I mean, I'm on the
Yeah.
same line. Elise is the same way.
We
It's
have
like-
7 nieces and nephews.
That's
so.
good. You got
Fine.
it. It's taken care of.
Yeah.
And the good news is, now you've covered it here. You'll
No,
never get
everybody
asked this
stop
question
asking.
again.
It's amazing though how people ask you and you're like, no, I don't want kids, and they're like, oh, you will.
You will.
And I'm like,
No.
I'm 33. I really
totally-
think it would have kicked in by
I
now.
totally get it. You're gonna know if you want one.
And I
and-
kind of waited. I was like, oh, they say like that clock will start.
Elisa
Not
said
then.
only if there was a pod that could have it, and that I, as grandfather, could help raise it the whole time with Timothy.
Yeah, my mom was relieved because I was like, are you gonna be okay not being around? And she's like, thank
thank
goodness, because I know I'm gonna have to raise the damn thing. 'Cause she was fighting all the time. So my mom was relieved.
Plus, you save a lot
That's
of money.
awesome.
You get to go
Yeah.
travel.
That's what Sam sometimes, he's like, do you know how much they cost?
It's a lot.
Like when
less
he
than
talks
a
to
horse.
his siblings, it's debatable.
Okay, yeah, it depends on the horse.
Debatable.
Well, listen, Lauren, I really appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having
Me
me.
too.
I hope you get out safely. We'll see.
And
If I don't, I was last seen here.
Well, we may not air this.
That last scene
It's risky.
here.
It's risky.
But going home to a super husband, tell him we all said hello.
I will.
All right, so we're going to be right back
With?
with Jen Tankel, and I want to make sure I get this right, Pegasus,
Pegasus.
which is an awesome new app.
Yep.
And we're going to hear all about it and get the dirty details on it. So
Dirty details.
dirty details. It's very, very.
So
Very,
as I
very legal.
understand
Very
it,
legal.
and they can say it from out there, it's sort of like Facebook but for equestrians. Kind of.
We're getting an exactly nod.
Sure.
So
Good. Great.
It's-
Great
it's
place
really
to talk
cool.
about it.
I've checked it out. It is awesome. So
Good.
We'll be right back and tell you guys all about it.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique uses manual pressure and stretching to release points of restriction, leading to freer movement, reduced soreness, and restored range of motion. He has a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle. You can quickly identify and correct any balance issues and can adjust your saddle on site. I personally have Grant work on all of my event horses to keep them feeling their best before, during, and after their competitions. Grant is based in Florida year-round, but regularly travels to Georgia, Tennessee, and the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454. Jump for Joy USA has what you need for your private farm or recognized competition. Our jumps are no maintenance, easy to move, and affordable. No scraping or painting necessary. We offer jump stands, wings, fillers, water trays, and more. Poles are wood-filled and available in 4 weights and lengths. And we now offer octagonal poles. Our cross-country portables and brush jumps are extremely useful and have been used for training by the British eventing team since 1990. Easy to move from the arena to the field and no tractor required, so you can change your setup often. We ship coast to coast in the USA and Canada. Visit our website, jumpforjoyusa.com. When it comes time to compete, I demand the best out of my horses and myself. That's why Elemental Fit Lab, the home of CrossFit antics, is my home gym. Coach Vilma and her team create a fun, welcoming environment for athletes of all levels. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned athlete, Elemental Fit Lab will guide you towards a stronger, healthier version of you. Mention the John and Rick Show to get 3 free personal training sessions with enrollment.
Sweet Dixie South is an equestrian facility built for the lifestyle of eventers of all levels. Whether you are coming to Ocala for the entire season, a week, a month, or a year, this beautiful 160-acre farm is the place to settle in and enjoy your time with horses. They offer a full cross-country course with 2 water features, banks, ditches, and amazing footing to gallop, a spectacular all-weather footing ring, large grass jumping fields, and dressage rings. Located in the rolling hills of North Marion County in Reddick, Florida, Sweet Dixie South has 100 stalls and numerous paddocks, apartments, a line of camper hookups, washer and dryer amenities, as well as common areas to complete your experience during your stay. Under the ownership of Mike Campbell and the management of Can-Do Joe Adams of Top Rail Tack, Sweet Dixie South has transformed into a premier eventing training facility in Florida. Go to www.sweetdixiesouth.com for more information.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros as always, and we're really excited because we are now going to talk about the Pegasus app, and we're joined by Jen Tankel and Sam Bain. So guys, thanks for coming in.
Welcome.
Thanks
So
for
this
having
is
us.
kind of exciting because we got it. I looked over it. It's a really cool concept, and I've always said, you know, we need to filter down out of like a Facebook social media platform, and it looks like y'all have done it. Who wants to talk about what you're doing?
I'll let Jen take the reins as CEO.
No pun intended.
Exactly.
Well, so it's funny that you say that because it was really a combination of many factors.
Right.
So I am a former eventer. I say former because it's been a few years since I was out doing, well, I was never doing these kinds of things, but I was always aspiring to. But so I've grown up riding. I actually have fond memories of being at John Hulling's farm and pony club days, and
Back in the day.
back in the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, very long story, Vivid Clinic with Peter Gray.
I remember that clinic.
Yeah.
I remember,
Of course you
and
do.
one of the poor girls jumped up on the bank and couldn't get her horse off. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
It wasn't
for
you,
sure.
was it?
Yeah, no.
It wasn't Jen.
different blonde. So, but long story short, I went to engineering school, and I didn't really have the chance to ride as much as I wanted to. But I was
Right.
always thinking about tech and just a way to make the equestrian world better.
Sure.
And I didn't really have the time to ride. I had a horse, I had to sell him. Long story short, and I frankly hated engineering. It just wasn't for me. But I was always thinking about problem solving. And so I ended up working in tech sales and working in apps, building apps. And long story short, fast forward to this year, during COVID, prior to COVID, I was leasing a horse. And then when everything shut down, I wasn't able to go to the barn anymore. Like, nobody was allowed to. And so we ended up doing a quarantine tour, and I wanted to find a horse to ride. And it was impossible to find one to ride. It was like, you check Facebook, you check, I didn't look at Craigslist, but there's just various random antiquated places.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
So find a ride, just not in a lesson format, but just a horse to go trail riding with, or?
Just kind of like a free lease, maybe someone
Oh,
wanted,
something
or
that
just
you could just-
anything really.
Something you go out and have fun with.
Exactly,
Okay.
like something that I
Gotcha.
could, because I don't have the time to commit to full-time riding, but just something to be able to scratch the itch,
Sure.
to go and ride. Perhaps someone has a bunch of horses that they were looking to get exercised, or
Right.
even just a partial lease, but most of these places were shut down because of COVID, and it was just hard to find one spot
Sure.
to find that. And also, my mom is a longtime rider, and she was always talking about how, you'd look on, just various antiquated platforms to find news and find events. There was nothing ever in one place. And so it was just kind of the perfect storm of the timing, my background, and talking with Sam, whose background is also my CTO and co-founder, we were just talking about, okay, what if everything was in one place?
Right.
And we just started talking about it, and it was, okay, events and searching for things like horses and boarding and training, and well, what if we have a community blog? There are so many riders out there that like to talk about, various subjects, and so poor Sam, I have all these ideas and he builds it, but that was kind of the birthplace of Pegasus, and we're really excited to see where it takes us.
That's awesome. So you are her partner in this. So are
Correct.
you the developer?
Yes, so
Okay.
we have a small team we have about 4 staff. But my history was that I had a technology company that I started in Australia that I exited at the end of last year. And so started this year with COVID. I mean, I'm quite new to the equestrian world. I've been in DC about 5.5 years.
But you're Australian.
But I'm
so-
Australian, yeah. So apparently Australians do pretty well in this place, in this community. But
Move over, Boyd Martin.
so as Jen mentioned, we were doing like a COVID tour when quarantine started, and the amount of times we'd like pull into a place, like we spent some time in Savannah, we spent some time in up north, and Jen was like, I'd love to find a horse to ride, but I have no idea how I'd go about finding it.
Sure.
So that combined with her history and her desire to like want to actually build a career for herself in her passion, which is the equestrian world, we decided to build a technology platform that took everything that's currently like disaggregated across like Facebook groups and blog sites and classified listing sites and Airbnb and all that sort of stuff.
Sure, and pulled it
bring
into
it
one
into
app.
like one communal social media platform / Airbnb, so that if you are traveling across state with your horse
Right.
and you're looking for a place that you can stay overnight with your horse while traveling, you can literally go, I need somewhere that's within 5 miles of this location, and it will come up with all the options and the reviews and the photos, and so you can basically make an informed decision.
So that takes a lot of information to get into it.
Yes,
right? Into
absolutely.
your app. So what you're looking for now in your launch is to get people to join as a member,
Correct.
and then also put all those things that you're talking about into the categories. Or are y'all doing research and finding those and already uploading them? So what is already in there, and what is going to be based on people coming in and infiltrating the system and putting it in?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So basically the general features, such as like the blogs and the community input, that's all anyone's input.
Sure.
And so the businesses and services are all those through the Pegasus Commerce.
Okay.
So if you are a boarding barn or a horse motel, as I mentioned, or just anything related to the equestrian world, you can subscribe to what we're calling Pegasus Commerce. And so you're essentially a pin on the map, but it's more than that. So you can search for keywords and location, and it is kind of like that Airbnb experience where you can look on the map but also search exactly for what you're trying to find. And the businesses that subscribe to that have the benefit of getting live traffic data. So it's a much more engaging business page versus, the historical status quo is you basically just put up a classified and hope people come to this antiquated website. So this is a little bit more engaging, and the
Sure.
whole community is there.
So you talk about subscription. I'm not meaning
You're
to
good. Keep
talk.
going, man. You're nailing it. I'm just sitting back enjoying
So when
the
we
show.
talk about subscription for the
Sure.
business, so are we talking there's a fee for subscription?
Yeah.
Okay. So
think of it
talk
as-
about your fee base.
Yeah. So to your question about like what's on there, what's not on there, just going back to that, and I'll come to the fee thing.
Okay.
So think of it. It's a freemium platform,
Sure.
meaning that 95% of everything that's on there is completely free to
Right.
use. 5% is paid, and there's that 5% that gives us the income we need to be able to make everything else free,
Sure.
right? So if you're someone who is just a rider and you for whatever reason you want to write a blog because you want to share your thoughts and experience and wisdom with the world, that's free. You want to take part in the social media platform, having friends, communicating, private messaging, everything you have on Facebook, that's free. We also have like a documentation portal. So if you want to create a stall card that you can pass on to your boarding barn, this is exactly how I want my horse to be treated, you can generate that for free and you can share it within the platform. Bills of sale, horse
Riding
agent,
waivers.
riding
You stop
waivers.
in on John Hulling's property, you're like, hold on, before you get on that horse.
Go to the
you know,
Pegasus.
So those are all
Exactly, yeah.
free.
All
Those are all
free.
free. Yeah.
But I did see the disclaimer for your legal documents
Yeah,
stating.
well, yeah.
we have a
because we-
lawyer who did review those.
Yeah.
Thanks
So
for
the
that.
only, the only thing that's paid on the entire platform is that if you are a business, if you are a business such as boarding barn,
Sure.
and you want people to be able to find you or a
And
horse
you
motel,
pay a subscription fee.
you pay a subscription fee. It's $20 a month
Okay.
or $200 a year, and that allows you to be found and also communicate and share documentation within the platform.
Okay, so my calculation real quick is if you sign up for the year, you save $40. If
Exactly.
not,
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So sign up now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the reason we designed it like that, by the way, is that we want, for the people who aren't a business, we want you to come to the platform and not be bombarded with advertisement. So there's no advertising on the platform. If you are looking to actually engage with a business by choice, such as I'm looking for a farrier or I'm looking for a place to stay overnight with my horses, you can go to the search function and you can engage with them on your own terms.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
if you're a business and you want people to be able to find you and communicate with you, you can do so.
So I got another question.
Go,
for
man.
it. What about privacy concerns for information that you're putting into, sort of all the whole social media privacy issues that might be coming up? What do you do with our information? Are you sharing that information? Are you selling that information? You know, all the things
that's
that
a
we
great
do
question.
know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So,
there's
shoot.
definitely no selling of information.
Right.
It's really just what you're putting onto the community is a collaborative endeavor with all of the other
Sure.
riders.
Okay.
But there's absolutely no selling, and privacy is an utmost concern. And
Good.
I do know that is definitely an ongoing issue with social media platforms.
And that's a large part of the no advertising
Yeah. Sure.
policy that we
Yeah.
have. So we have the company is in compliance with all the regulations of privacy, data privacy, etc., and up to date. And because we don't have advertising, so a lot of these large social media platforms like Facebook, for example, the common expression is, if it's free, then you are the product, right?
Right.
For us, because we actually don't, and the way they do that is, if you are contributing, then they're collecting your data and then they're selling that data to advertisers.
So that you
that's
can
like-
get that advertisement coming up and
Exactly.
popping up on your
So
page.
Exactly.
for us, to
You
get
have a
around
commerce
that,
page.
we were like, well, we're just going to have a subscription model.
Yeah.
We subscribe to the Apple theory, which
Right.
is, we're going to produce a product, and if you want to buy it, you can buy it. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. But it's a fair exchange. It's very black and white. So because we don't have advertisers, we have no reason to, in no way to use that
Get it.
data,
Yeah.
I get it.
except to improve the product internally.
Sure.
And the only way in which people will see your data is that if you sign up to Pegasus Commerce, you built within your product page. So if, for example, you have a boarding barn, you have your boarding barn profile.
Right.
You can see in real time traffic analytics of who's coming to your site, how often they're coming, what times they're coming, what time of day they're coming. This today versus last week versus last year, but it's all anonymous. So it's only numbers. They will not see any names. They won't see people's identities, anything like that.
That's very good.
This is all really cool. So it's the Pegasus.app.
Correct.
And so it's Thursday. So if people today want to go see that, they go onto their computer and check out the Pegasus.app.
www.thepegasus.app.
Exactly.
APP.
And then it's going to come
Soon.
out as an app,
Yes.
as an actual
Is
app.
that-
An actual downloadable app in the app stores come March.
And how much is the app?
Oh, it's free.
Free.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
free
free.
app.
And another
I love free. I love being the product.
So I would say everybody out there, I have seen it. It looks really cool. I've always said, especially on Facebook, we have problems with selling horses because of the selling issues of animals on Facebook. You got to be
Yeah.
real creative. So I would say go to the Pegasus.app.
Yes.
Start learning
It's
about
really
it.
cool, and I will say I know you guys have done a lot of research on it and talked to a lot of people, because I've talked
we
with
talked. You were on a horse and I was chatting with you over the summer.
Exactly. That's as much like market research as you can get right there. Was on the horse talking about the horse. So I'm excited.
Well, you bring up a good point too with the riding. So there is that services page and the business page. So
Oh
if you
my God,
wanna
that's a huge thing here in Ocala.
It's really big and important for customers to find you. But if you do have, say, spare tag or horses that you're trying to sell and you're not a business, you can use the marketplace, and that's completely free.
Oh, great.
And so it's
That's a
just
good point.
instead of using
Yeah.
the Facebook marketplace, it's much more tailored to the equestrian world.
And we built it to solve the very single problem that currently on Facebook you post a saddle and there's 40,000 members, and within half a second it's like 10 pages down.
Right.
And it's
Right.
really hard to get seen, right? So
So what we're going to have to do is have y'all come back after the launch of the app.
absolutely.
And then talk more with us.
Absolutely.
And thanks for being on the show. It's a great app, and I'm looking forward to being a member.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you very much,
Dylan.
guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Till next time.
We're going to be back, actually. We're going to be back in 2 weeks with
Lucinda Green.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about having Lucinda, and we will talk to you guys then.
All right. Rick Wallace. And I have John Holly here with me.
3 phases, dressage, cross country, show jump. And you're out on course and something's going wrong or going right. You know how to react to what they're doing.
It was built originally to be a schooling facility, and so everything's set up very conveniently.